for that is .text, just like that. Then we need to tell the URL loader which functions are called when it finishes, which is done using add event listener. And we're going to be looking for event.complete, very common in Actionscript to use this. And then we just use listener, which is our function. That's what it's going to call. Last but not least, we have to get the ball rolling, so we just call load, and we give it the URL request that we defined earlier. So that's a very simple little workhorse function that we're going to call quite a few times. Next up, we're just going to give some empty functions for various things that happen during the loading process. The first one is called onloaded_tileset. Now I'll just explain why I named this function this way. Okay, so it doesn't return anything. This function is called once the tileset.xml file finishes loading, and it actually makes our state machine move into the next state, and it also does a bit more work. So all of these event handler functions take an event argument. We're just going to call it EVT for short. So the event is quite a commonly used sort of structure. The next guy we're going to be using is called onloaded all tileset images. And it has the same structure as previously and the same arguments. Actually, my mistakes. This one doesn't need anything because it's not actually called from one of these URL loader handlers. Just fix up that case there. It doesn't take any arguments. So that's called once the tileset PNG files are finished loading. Next up, we're going to need one that's called logically when the map.xml file finished loading. And this will take the event structure because it will be called from the URL loader. Doesn't have any return values. The last function we're going to have, we're just going to pop that up closer to the top, is called onEnterFrame. And its purpose is to be called once per frame when the event fires off for that particular thing. So we're just going to call this one onEnterFrame. The event it takes is also just an event. It doesn't have any return values, and this is going to be sort of the heartbeat of our state machine later on. So let's test this class that we've defined. So first we need to instantiate a TileMap object in our root class for the application, which is test_TileMap. So we'll create a little member variable for it, just called m_TileMap, and make sure to import the TileMap class up here. I'll just tidy that. And let's create it. So we're just going to create a new TileMap. And as we discussed before, we're going to use the stage as the parent. Actually, we can just use this. And then the tileset path is just tileset.xml and map.xml. Very simple. All right. So that will create our object and get the ball rolling. And now we need to go into our PNG and make sure that into our directory where our PNG is stored and everything, and make sure that our bin debug is set up correctly. So we have the zip file from the previous tutorial. What you need to do is extract that. So I'm just going to use WinRAR, which is very convenient, and extract it into a little subfolder. It's only got 3 files in it, so it's very simple. I'm going to go into that folder that I've just extracted, and I'm going to grab the image. I'm just going to move that up. And then next, it has to be in the same directory as the XML files for this example. So I'm going to grab the tileset, map, and tilemap.png. I'm going to go back into my documents. Now I'm going to go into the flexible to 3 folder where I stored my project in the test tilemap folder. And I'm going to go into bin debug, which is where our SWIF is located, which we're compiling. It's the endpoint of our project, or the result of our project. I'm going to paste these files in here. So there they are. That's the 3 of them in there. So that means that our SWIF, when it launches, comes from this directory, and it'll be able to find these files, which is very important. So now we need to go back into TileMap and get the ball rolling. And I just want to fix this error. Oh, okay, that's a bit wrong. It should be a new URL loader. Must have made a typo there. Okay, so to get the ball rolling, we're just going to call load.xml in tilemap's constructor with the path to our tileset. So the tileset.xml file, which we've already stored off as a member variable. And what we want is to call onloaded tileset when that finishes. So let's debug that and make sure it works. and we should get a trace message. Oh, this is not good. Okay, I think I know what's causing this. Ah, yep, that's wrong. My mistake. All right, let's try that again. And if we go back into Flex, and it's loaded it fine. So that's all good. In the next chapter, we'll start to parse the XML files using AS3's uber useful built-in XML syntax. So thanks for listening. If you'd like to see more, go to karmatraining.org for high-res videos, source files, podcasts, and transcripts of this tutorial.